Listen, folks, your milk might start having a rush hour price to it.
These price tags started updating right in front of me.
The concern is that this is going to be used to kind of take advantage of or gouge consumers in times of acute demand.
And look, when you walk into the grocery store this week, look at the price tags. Not the big signs hanging from the ceiling, the little tags on the shelf, right next to the products. If you see small digital screens instead of paper stickers, it's happening in your store. The infrastructure to charge you more for that ground beef based on what time it is, what the weather is, and what your face looks like is already in place. I'm talking about surge pricing for food with facial recognition. Now, this is a 2024 story. Most people think this thing got handled. The FTC opened an investigation, the news covered it for a week. Everyone assumed someone was watching. Turns out, nobody was watching. I mean, letters were written, hearings were held, bills were introduced, but the investigation was shut down on day one of the new administration. So Walmart kept installing the tags. Kroger kept expanding. The technology, it kept rolling out quietly, without the watchdog, without the headlines. And by December of this year, Walmart alone will have these systems fully deployed in 2,300 stores across America. Surveillance pricing will be live and in effect. While the news moved on, the deployment didn't. For the last year, you've been walking out of that store with a $140 receipt for 2 bags of groceries wondering what happened. You didn't do anything wrong. You're not bad at budgeting. The goalposts moved, and they moved quietly while everybody thought someone else was watching the game. Here, let's name the players. The Walton family of Walmart. They'll be done with their rollout by December of 2026. Rodney McMullen, former CEO of Kroger. They've been quietly installing their version of these digital shelves. They call it Edge since 2018. Over 500 stores already. And a tech firm, Fusion Group. They're the ones building the hardware that goes inside these stores. They're the inventors of agile dynamic pricing, like it's alive. Actually, the prices will be coming to life, meaning grocery chains will be able to change prices in real time from a corporate office. It's surge pricing, like Uber, but for food. They can quietly raise the price of water during a heat wave, or bump up the cost of ground beef at 5 p.m. when everyone is shopping for dinner, then drop it when the store is empty. It's designed to dynamically respond to market conditions. It's a $7 billion global infrastructure project designed to charge you more when you have no choice. Meanwhile, Walmart's profit last year was over $30 billion. Between the two of them, they couldn't find a way to just keep the price of milk the same. Now, when you ask these companies why they're spending hundreds of millions replacing paper tags with digital screens, Walmart tells you it's about saving employees time, cutting a price change from days down to minutes. They hide behind efficiency. But a grocery industry analyst named Phil Lempert went on NPR and accidentally said the quiet part out loud. And I quote, "If it's hot outside, we can raise the price of water and ice cream." You know, I'm not reaching to connect the dots here. That's an industry insider on national radio describing the use case out loud, unprompted. Now let me show you exactly what this looks like when it's fully deployed. And we don't have to imagine it because Europe already went there. Think about a toll road with express lanes. At 2 in the morning, the toll road is 50 cents because nobody's driving. At 5 p.m. during rush hour, that exact same stretch of asphalt costs $9. Why? Because you got no choice. You got to get home. Supermarkets are turning the bread aisle into a toll road. They know you have to feed your family at 6 o'clock, and they are building the infrastructure to charge you a toll for being a working parent. The labels Walmart is installing can change prices as often as every 10 seconds. In Norway, grocery stores are currently changing prices up to 100 times a day, more during the holidays. That's not a cautionary tale. That's the roadmap. Europe adopted these labels first, started with operational efficiency. Now at 100 price changes a day, we are 2 years behind. And by December, the hardware will be complete and we'll be all caught up. So what does this mean for you at home? Well, let's do some math. The USDA says a moderate food plan for a family of 4 runs about $1,300 a month. Let's be conservative, say supermarkets implement just a 15% peak hour surcharge between 5 and 7 p.m. when working people shop. That's $196 out of your pocket every month, $2,300 a year. Not because you bought anything different, not because your income changed, not because they increased the quality or the quantity of what you bought, simply because you shop when working people shop. That's half a property tax bill, wiped out by tomatoes. Now here's how this all snuck under the radar, right under your nose. You see, in July of 2024, the Federal Trade Commission opened a formal investigation. They called it a surveillance pricing study. They issued orders to 8 companies to hand over their data. By January of 25, the FTC published preliminary findings. What they found, at least 250 businesses, including grocery chains, were already using surveillance pricing tools that use your location, your browser history, your purchase history, and your demographic data to set individualized prices. Not one price for everyone in the store, your price, based on what they know about you specifically. The FTC's own findings said these tools are designed to tailor prices and generate greater profits. A government agency published findings saying these tools are designed to charge you more. And then, on January 22nd of 2025, within days of the new administration, the new FTC chair shut the investigation down, canceled the public comment period, ended the study. The senators, they wrote their letters, the agency did its work, the findings got published, and then it was gone. Walmart kept installing the tags. Move along, nothing to see here. Some states tried to step in. Arizona, Maryland, Nebraska, all introduced bills to ban this technology outright. January of 26, a federal bill was introduced to ban ESLs, electronic shelf labels, in any store larger than 10,000 square feet. Rashida Tlaib introduced a House version. And most of these efforts are fragmented though. They're slow moving or they've stalled completely, and none has produced a national stop sign. New York actually did pass something. The Algorithmic Pricing Disclosure Act went into effect in November of 25. You know what it does? It requires stores to tell you they're doing it. Not stop doing it, just tell you they're doing it. So if you're on a fixed income, you depend on static pricing. It's how you plan, it's how you manage, it's how you survive. If that's you, you've got a problem in 26 and beyond. You cannot run a static budget against a dynamic enemy. You can't hold static assets when your liabilities are dynamically priced. I've been doing real estate for nearly 20 years. I've closed north of 50 million bucks in deals, and I have never seen the financialization of human survival like this. Now, I want to show you one more receipt. You won't believe it. I mean, I don't know why this is the part the news cycle completely buried when it moved on. I mean, I know what a camera on a grocery shelf sounds like. I know. So I'm not going to tell you about it. I'm going to let a United States senator tell you about it. In August of 2024, Senator Elizabeth Warren wrote a formal letter to Kroger's CEO. She quoted Kroger's own vendor documentation right here on the screen. These are her words from the official Senate record. Edge shelves will use cameras to perform facial recognition to determine a customer's gender and age, which will be used to present personalized offers and prices. The shelf has a camera. The camera reads your face, it determines your age, and it uses that information to set your price. Now, I'm just a guy who buys houses for a living. Half the time I can't find my keys, but even I can read a letter. By December this year, Kroger will have the camera infrastructure in hundreds of stores. Walmart will have the pricing infrastructure in 2,300. And look, if you think I'm being a little dramatic, a little tinfoil hattish about companies building a capability and then using it against their customers, it's already happened. Apple pushed software updates that secretly slowed down older iPhones right when new models were launching. They got caught. They got sued, they settled, and paid out claims. You know what they do now? They still slow down your phone. They just renamed it Performance Management. Tesla built the ability to reach into your car and remotely disable features. Used cars people already bought and paid for. Buyers thought they owned a vehicle with autopilot. Tesla logged in and took it back, like a digital repo man. No warning, no refund. And if you think Rashida Tlaib and Elizabeth Warren will be effective in protecting you from this, remember when Congress made robocalls illegal, passed multiple laws, made spoofing caller IDs explicitly legal? You still got 3 of them this week. Maybe you got 3 today. I mean, every single time the company got caught, the government stepped in, everyone assumed it was handled, and the thing just kept going under a different name. That's not a conspiracy theory. That's a business model. Now, I can't prove this part, but here's what I think is actually happening. So make of it what you will. They're installing the infrastructure first. They're letting you get comfortable with the digital tags. They may even gamify them and make them fun while waiting for public attention to wander elsewhere. And then, gradually, in ways that are hard to detect and harder to prove, they'll start using what they built. Norway didn't go from 0 to 100 price changes a day in one announcement. It happened over years. The infrastructure, it came first. The behavior followed. I've been watching these patterns for nearly 30 years. A lot of "we would never do that" has turned into "oops, sorry." The pattern doesn't change, only the industry does. So the investigation that was supposed to produce consumer protection, it's gone. The federal legislation is stalled, and the news covered this for 1 week in 2024, and they moved on. So what do? Well, you got two options. Option one, you assume someone else is watching this. You keep shopping the same store, same time, same loyalty card. By December, the infrastructure is complete. Your behavioral profile is built, and the only thing left is the policy decision to flip it on. Or option two, you spend 10 minutes this week on three things. First, walk your grocery store and find out if the tags are already digital. If they are, the hardware is already in place. Now you know. Second, pull up your loyalty card agreement. Find the section on pricing personalization. It's in there. You've been agreeing to it for years without reading it, without realizing it. And then third, decide who deserves your business. You cannot budget your way out of an economy where the cost of survival is changing by the hour. December, it's closer than you think. And if you think a dynamically priced grocery aisle is where this all ends, wait until you see what the whole system has planned over the next 2 years. That's why I pulled this video out here for you to watch next. There may not be much you can do to stop dynamic pricing at your grocery store, but there's still a small window to take some meaningful action before the rich pull away for good and everyone else gets left behind. Watch this. God loves you, and so do I. Take care.